Mhm.
He's over there. Okay, never mind. Go ahead. We're live now.
Hello, everyone. This is Biz Chicks TV. This is the place where you can find tips and tools to help you do business better. We're here to help you run a profitable business that's fun to run and to take the hassle out of your hustle. And today is Friday, and we are talking tech in ways that you can understand. I'm laughing because I forgot to put the go live button in place. So we are now live, and I'm here with my partner, Miss Francine Gregory, real estate entrepreneur and tech diva. I'm Terralina from California Cover Up, so we're the Biz Chicks. We are just delighted to be here today, and we're going to get this party started. Fran, what's happening this day in tech? And should we give a shout out to those in Clubhouse?
Yeah, because we got Dr. Tachi over there hanging out, and I'm sure others will be coming in. Um, just so you know, I might need to exit stage left because I got an appointment that I need to get to. But I'm going to start with this day in tech history. Let me pick a story. Uh, let's see. Do I want to do that one? I'll do this one. Osborne Executive is introduced. The Osborne Computer Corporation officially announced the Osborne Executive Computer, the follow up to its extremely successful Osborne One.
Mhm.
This is the computer that, according to lore, took down the company, known as the Osborne effect. The legend is that by leaking the announcement of this computer earlier in the year, dealers canceled all orders for the Osborne One, effectively destroying the company's cash flow and hindering operations going forward. This resulted in the cancellation of the company's IPO and eventually to bankruptcy.
Wow.
This was April 18th, 1983. Uh,
This gives new meaning to, leaked information or
mhm.
hacked information
Yeah,
about religions, why people keep secrets.
right. The reality may not be so simple, but the author's research shows that the Osborne effect may have been a contributing cause to the company's demise, along with the rise of competitors, the introduction of the IBM PC, and mismanagement by the company's president brought in by investors to provide adult supervision.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Uh,
Wow.
April 20th, 1998, during the Comdex Spring 98 and Windows World shows in Chicago, a public demonstration of the soon to be released Windows 98 goes awry when Bill Gates' assistant causes the operating system to crash
Mm.
after plugging in a scanner. Instead of showing the plug and play capabilities they were trying to demonstrate, a blue screen is they call it a blue screen of death is visible by the entire audience, which immediately erupts in laughter. After several seconds, Bill Gates famously responded, "That must be why we're not shipping Windows 98 yet."
Mm.
Ironically, the assistant, Chris Cap- Caposella, has moved up the executive ranks at Microsoft, recently being promoted to the position of senior vice president of consumer channels and central marketing group. For Microsoft's sake, hopefully he'll present a much better marketing image than he did that fateful day.
Oh my goodness. Let us hope.
Wow. That is why you check your stuff and you do rehearsals with the stuff before you actually get on stage.
You
And
do a run through.
right, run throughs like in plural. And then the cool thing was that we don't know what could happen, but they didn't fall apart. It's like,
Uh-huh.
okay, it is what it is. April 21st, 1988, the Tandy Company holds a press conference to announce plans to build clones of the IBM's PS2 system computers. The conference comes soon after the IBM's announcement that it would license patents on key PC technologies. IBM made this decision as they realized they were losing control of the IBM compatible PC market and could make more money licensing the technologies. Within 5 years, IBM clones will become more popular than the original IBM machines themselves. Eventually, IBM would leave the PC manufacturing business.
We have a cry over here to please check Clubhouse. I don't know what's going on over there, but we got to be screaming. I was like, what is going on Clubhouse?
Okay. Dr. Tachi and I are over there.
Yeah, well, I'm getting comments from Dr. Tachi. She says, hey, what's going on with Clubhouse? Please check Clubhouse.
I am over there.
There's a weird recording noise, she said, in Clubhouse.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
No.
All right, I'm over there. Shall I leave and come back? I don't know.
Let me check. I'll check.
Okay. I'm not. I just have the phone. I don't have anything else. Hey, Jasmine. Hey, TJ.
It's somebody else talking. A man's voice.
How weird.
Oh, very. Hold on a minute. That is kind of weird.
I can't hear you at all. It's some man's voice coming through.
So maybe we should close it and come back in.
Hold on.
No, if she leaves it,
okay. Hold on.
just make me moderator and then leave.
Okay, how about that? That should be better now. TJ?
Yeah. Okay, now it's good.
Now I need to mute something on something somewhere.
It was some man's voice speaking. It sounded like at a conference or something.
My headphones are probably
picking up something.
No, when you use the
Pods.
not the AirPods, but the Beat Studio.
AirPlay?
Yeah, the Beat Studio take over stuff.
Oh,
okay.
Even though I'm nowhere near the Beat Studio, they're over in another room. I was like, what? Okay.
I was like, who is that talking?
Okay, well, I'm glad we got that.
That's good to know.
Yeah, I got that all fixed.
Yeah, I hate when because my AirPods do that. They will take over whatever device you pick up.
Yes.
Right.
And I'm like, I don't want that device.
Exactly.
And then I was like, wait, and then you turn it off and it's still picking up. Then you got to shut the thing completely down. I'm like, oh, come on.
Well, it is Tech Friday. So we learned some stuff that our Beats will take over.
The AirPods or whatever, they will. Yeah. So back to the ranch. Eventually, IBM left the PC manufacturing business altogether, selling their division to Lenovo in 2005.
I have an echo.
Okay. I might need to turn my volume down just a little bit. Is that a little better, TJ?
No, I have an echo when I get in Clubhouse and do this, so I just stay out of Clubhouse.
Okay, got it. And I might need to make you moderator anyway, because I've got to go to
do that. That way the room stays open. Okay,
cool. Now, and my final story today is the first YouTube video, April 23rd, 2005. Seriously? That doesn't seem like a very long time. April 23rd, 2005, the first video uploaded to YouTube, Me at the Zoo, is posted at 8:27 p.m. by co-founder Jawed Karim. for now being a piece of history, the video is actually pretty dumb, somebody said. Now, what I'm looking at 8:27, there sure was a lot of light in that picture, but okay.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Anyway, I'm looking at the elephants and stuff at 8:27 p.m. Should it be darker?
Here's a fact. I have one of my oldest YouTube accounts is from 2006 before Google bought them. So I had a YouTube account since then. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. It was
because I remember before Google bought them, it was like YouTube, what is this thing? So I just signed, I'll sign up for anything and try it out.
I remember then shortly thereafter, YouTube did buy them. I mean, right. Google did buy them.
Yeah, YouTube was out for a short period, and then YouTube bought them because they saw a good thing, and
they was like, oh, we can snap that up, and yeah, and the rest is history.
Yep.
Wow.
All right, so that's your week in tech history.
Okay. You guys ready?
Oh, that must mean she got some stuff.
I just want to talk about the fact that Amazon is going into the salon business.
Going into the what business?
The salon business, yes.
Wow.
Okay.
You'll be able to go into an Amazon salon and, of course, try on virtual hair colors. You'll be entertained. You'll be given a fire pad? What do you call those? They're little Amazon fire pad.
Yeah, they're tablets.
They're tablet. That's it. An Amazon fire
tablet.
Yes, a tablet, and you'll be able to relax and point at stuff and order stuff, and all in the comforts of the salon. They want to show how that technology can help people interface with how they want to look cosmetically, which we know is going on anyway, right? Because we got all these apps that change our makeup and different things. But now you can try on hairstyles and stuff right there in the chair. And it's like a connection. I saw this. Yes.
I'm trying to understand. So the Amazon,
I don't know why. I don't answer the why. I just answer the
I was thinking about the why. I was thinking about, so they are giving salon owners the tablets and
they're giving the customers.
I understand, but
we don't know where they're going with this. I don't know if they're testing it so that they can eventually retail it to salon owners or not. We just know that they actually opened a brick and mortar one.
That's what I was asking. Okay.
It's brick and mortar in London.
Okay. So all of those who are listening in the clubhouse, or in here, would you go to a salon named Amazon?
I'm just saying, they opened a hair salon in London. This is good news for people looking to get a post-pandemic chop. Amazon is opening a hair salon in London. Yes, you read that right. The world's largest online retailer is opening a 2-story, 1,500 square foot salon equipped with new technology, including augmented reality hair consultations and point and learn displays that give customers information, videos, and educational content when they point to a product on a shelf, according to the release. And this came out yesterday, I think.
Okay.
Yesterday afternoon. The Amazon is in the salon business.
My thought is that this is for people who are looking for new trends or something, because most people stick with their own stylist, and it's very personal, right? So it's a personal connection, because a lot of times barbers, salon stylists, etc., are almost like going into a confessional. You know, people relax, they tell their stories, they get a little psychological input or feedback, or they just feel like it's not going anywhere from there. You know, it's confidential. So I don't know. But it's right now they're testing it with just their employees. And they say the general public will have to wait a few weeks before they can get an Amazon cart for themselves.
Initially, the salon will only be open to company employees.
Okay, so that's different. Then it's kind of like Google, who's offering things to their because
well, wait a minute now. Right now, they say they don't know if the company has plans to open more. I think this is beta, not not a perk for their employees.
No, I just think that it's like Google does. Google has all of these cafes and different things for their employees, and they just made, and Amazon just created something where their employees can go and get something done, because having to find a new stylist or whatever, because Ulta also has a salon inside the Ulta store. But I'm not sure I would go, because one, do I know the stylist that's in there? Now I have got to create a relationship, so how I want my hair or what. Okay, that takes a long process.
There's some trust there. You gotta try them out and say, well, don't mess up my hair. If they do, then you're mad, and
you're for real. And it takes a while to recover.
Right.
It says, as for COVID safety protocols, the salon will maintain reduced capacity, and employees will check guest temperatures upon arrival. Free face masks and hand sanitizer will be provided. Customers will be required to wear masks, and separation screens will be used to divide the styling stations. This sounds like, I'm just saying.
Well, I mean, they have a lot of employees, so I can see why they would do that. And that's how it is right here now. When you go to a salon, they're doing all those same things.
Well, this may be their way of increasing their footprint, because remember the grocery stores? Remember, you know what I mean? They got into a lot of brick and mortar stuff.
Right. Dr. Tachi has a comment. Go ahead, ma'am.
If I may, I think that this is for a certain echelon, or I shouldn't say echelon, community. Let me just say this. I can't see very many people with melanated hair going in and trusting. So, because for us, hair is a very big thing. So unless
it's a big thing,
who you already know, and you're just following them to a salon, generally you're very, very picky about where you get your hair done. So again, just like with the Fantastic Sam's or these salons and Sears or where any JCPenney's or any Supercuts, exactly. That fantastic. That's a blast from the past. But any of those types of things where the stylists, maybe it's okay for you, your hair grows out or whatever. We're very particular with where we get our hair done. I don't know that this is something for, let me just say, people of African descent. They're probably going to try and be inclusive, but I don't know that we're going to be trusting like that. I just have to put it out there.
Yeah, they would probably have to get somebody. They would need to bring in someone who has a following already to make that work.
Listen, I have a quick story about that years ago when I forgot how a coworker or something introduced me to the hairstylist, but she was all the way in Queens. I mean, all the way in Queens, and I'm in Manhattan. So I used to travel because she did the hair right. It was like, okay, I trusted. I was like, okay, do my hair and everything. But it would be like an hour, 2 hour, and I would have to take the train and this train and that. But I went because she was the one I trusted with my hair. And then unfortunately she moved back to her home country, and I cried, but there was nothing to be done. Yeah. And then it's like Todd just said, when you find somebody that you trust, you follow them and hang on. If I could follow her to Puerto Rico, I probably would.
Jerry, I used to drive from DC to New York to get my hair done. So I would drive 4 hours, get my hair done, and then drive back to DC. So I don't know, Amazon. I don't know.
I don't either. My daughter drives 2 hours each way to the Bay Area to get
there. And so just to add a little something to it, there was a hairdresser here in Sacramento. His name is Andre. I kid you not. He had a client that flew from Chicago to get her hair done. She came from Chicago. She got here, got her hair done, and then flew back. Now it helped that she worked for the airlines and stuff,
Right.
but still, she flew in, and then he would make a trip to the Hollywood area every week. He spent 2 days in Hollywood and then come back to SAC and take care of his clients here. But that is the extent. I don't see Amazon putting in that much
effort.
Effort. Hey, Yolanda from Dryer Buzz, what do you think?
I'm trying to catch up, but we do have a family salon, and let me tell you, I wish the pandemic had slowed down. My daughter has been so booked and so crazy, but of course, the question I had about salons, period, in the pandemic. This is an entity that is already governed by cleanliness.
Yes.
Distance, right? They already have rules and criteria in place where you really couldn't be on top of each other anyway, and things had to be sanitized to the utmost, whether they were or not in some of these places. So I was just really surprised at how they had so much came down on them during this pandemic, as opposed to other industries learning from them. Because you think about it, you go to a salon, you're within a station. The next station is already a certain distance away. Right. So all they had to do was put certain things in place and just continue with the criteria that they were already governed by. All they just needed people to do the inspections. And so, I was really surprised that they were hit as hard as they were in a pandemic.
So just so there, I'm going to recap. Terralina is talking to us about a story where Amazon is going into the salon business and going to have a salons and do people's hair.
Yeah, I saw that, and we know what market they're going for because we know how our loyalty is. Oh, I don't think we have to worry about that.
Okay, so because it says
get all my money, but they're not about to do my
hair. Exactly. So, but I was just shocked to know that they would go into brick and mortar like this and choose salons. But such as it is.
Right. I was like, okay.
All right.
I will say this, or I will ask this, because what we have not seen, and again, like I said, we have a salon, and we're trying to figure, that there's the drama and the trauma of the salons. And my daughter was, as she has expanded in this economy, this pandemic economy, she did expand, and she was trying to decide what her larger model should be. And my advice to her was not to hire equal people, but to hire assistants, people coming in under her, and then where she saw that their talent lies, promote them in that way. That way she doesn't open up to all the drama that goes into, renting stations or hiring. She wants a hiring model, right? And she wants to focus as a kind of a med spa. And I said, well, if you're gonna do the services that she does, hair is not the focus. It's the lashes and personal care services, right? And so my advice to her was that she hires people that work in various stages, and they prep the person until it gets to the point where the function that she does, right? So everything from coming in the door, the person is handed off in these various stations, and then they get to her where she does the final service, and she signs off on everything else. So my thing with Amazon coming in there, because we want to think of it as the gig economy. The one thing, the gig economy and the mindset of the gig economy, meaning that you're not beholden to particular time, particular hours, particular rates, right? If Amazon has saw a gap in the salon industry, meaning the real estate and the space, like, can I go and get that space because I need it today? Can I go and I'm going to book a chair here, a chair there, pretty much like the gig economy works, then they may corner the market. Because if you think about when you're trying to get into a salon, that salon owner, they want you there forever.
Right.
Not into paying them and paying, you're paying a percent of their expense, which creating wealth for them. But the gig economy, what did it do? It, it opened up to look at Uber. Everybody, what people love to say, they don't own cars.
Correct.
Amazon don't make nothing. If they're gonna bring that mindset to this long-standing industry that exists in every community, I can see it. And you know what? They may end up doing hair for free because they're gonna make money off just putting a locker there, having people pick up their
and people pointing at stuff on the screen and buying it.
Right. And see, what I liked is because, sometimes when I go and get my nails done, if I could do it all in one place, it would be great. And my hairstylist is in a place now where he can do that. But the nail part of it's not in there. And if you handed me a tablet and said, okay, pick the service you want with the you know what I mean? Where the menus on a tablet.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's different. And okay, and like they were saying, how does this cut look on you or whatever? I think that part of it can be implemented in every
software could be sold.
Right. The AR part of it, where you could
AR,
you could, and you try out the hairstyle or the haircut before you get it.
And that would be, I'm not sure why not more people are not doing it. I know the Mary Kay lady that is Keisha, they have something like that where there's an app and you can see how the makeup colors are going to look on you before you pick them.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But look how long it took for stylists just to let us book online.
Ooh.
It took them about a decade.
Yes.
Before they all jumped on there, like letting you book your spot and starting on you. I went to the salon the other day. It booked the time, but still was probably about an hour before I got in the chair. And I'm like, be patient because you ain't been in the salon in a while, But look how long it took them to even bring technology into it. And now it's been the best thing ever for them, So I guarantee Amazon has found still something. Somebody's slipping somewhere. If they're worried about Amazon opening up a shop across the street or next door, then they're slipping somewhere. They need to figure out where they're slipping.
Yeah.
And see, remember, Amazon is looking at buying the malls. There's a story out. I think it was last week. Amazon is looking to buy these empty shopping malls. Why? Because one, if people, some people that go to work in their cars in a non-urban area, they have to pass that mall so they can order on the phone, pick up. They can, like you said, get a slot for a haircut or a spa day or nails, and all of that will be in the location. And of course, Amazon's going to set it up where it's socially distanced and it's going to be safe. So I think that's why Amazon is looking at physical locations. And people going, why? But I'm like, there's a problem with delivery in urban, not urban areas, non-urban areas. So it would make sense to buy these empty malls.
Fulfillment center everywhere.
But it would
a warehouse in every community. But
we're
sitting there, all that acreage on that mall is sitting there.
Right,
exactly right.
Those vans, each of these malls are losing their larger anchor stores. That's
really, and Amazon could have showrooms. They could put that, and they're doing the grocery store where you just walk in and pick up and walk out. So they want the physical locations of people going, why? You're a delivery service, but they're expanding. You could see that they're expanding into that.
Just think about it this way, too. They have a lot of things that are returned. There was nothing wrong with them. It would be a great thing to be able to walk through there on your way to the salon and purchase some stuff at a discounted rate or whatever. Also, didn't JCPenney's close down a lot of their hair salons, if not all of them?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There's a gap at all.
And there's the mall here. They have kiosks where people would be able to come and have whatever it is. So they got all these little stations. You can get popcorn. You can do this. I mean, they got snacks. Dude is selling potato chips and soda in a kiosk. Seriously.
Mm-hmm.
And Apple stores right there.
Right.
Get chips, lunch. He's selling little snacks and stuff. You can
because the kiosk was known for being expensive real estate. Like they charge crazy dollars to be at a kiosk, and he's making it with snacks. I'm loving it.
Right.
Well, when kids want snacks, they want snacks, and if you can get them less than going into a actual sit down situation at the mall,
Yeah, and here's another idea with Amazon products. Sometimes you want to actually see, feel, and touch it.
Right.
So if Amazon buys them all, they can have little kiosks or little places where they would be a sample of the item. I believe Amazon was opening a store here, or they opened a store here in New York City. I don't know what happened, where people could go in. Remember, it was like 2 years ago.
Or you might be able to rent a space, TJ. If you are Amazon, fulfillment person, you could rent a space maybe on the floor.
It's a lot of ideas they could do with this mall situation. I heard some people that were like, "Oh, this doesn't make any sense." I'm like, it makes perfect sense.
Right, because now Sears is no longer, and so they were talking about taking the appliance center at the Sears over here.
Mm-hmm.
And why not? And then they can use that as a fulfillment center. They don't have to build one.
Right.
And
warehouse fulfillment. Yeah, warehouse fulfillment, nail salon, hair salon, grocery store. Look at the product before you buy it, and you go, "Oh, I like that," and you pull out your phone, or they'll have a little thing there, and you just buy it. So.
And it's waiting for you at the door because they're going to pull it out of the fulfillment center.
Yeah, you don't have to wait.
And Yolanda said, "Go ahead, Yolanda."
Comments coming in over here.
Don't forget about curbside. I mean, the mall is the perfect place for curbside. In fact,
curbside. Yep.
At our mall, the line was sometimes wrapped halfway around the mall of people waiting to pull up to get the Chick-fil-A.
Yep. Buy online, pick up.
Curbside is a thing.
It is.
Well, the thing too is, we had, what do you call it? Valet parking at Nordstrom's. Well, Nordstrom's closed. Maybe they'll valet your package to you wherever you are on
There's
a
lot of possibilities
in the lot, not just by the curb. We'll bring it to your car.
Well, they're doing that right now. There are parking spaces, and they will bring that. They're bringing stuff out to your parking space.
Yes.
So that's the thing. Mark says here, I've never figured out why no one has taken the pet mobile grooming model with a salon that comes to you. Charge a premium for that service. Maybe the health codes prevent it. I don't think it's the health codes. I just think some people
we had a client, Fran. We had a client that did that.
You have mobile stylists now.
Fran,
mobile stylists made a lot of money in the pandemic because they were still going to their customers.
Right. And can see they had to get real creative because we wanted our hair done.
I remember she came to the house and did it. She came to the house and did my hair. Remember the client we set up with her mobile business? It's a couple of years ago, 4 or 5 years ago. She was a mobile salon. We've got Carlos in here.
Yeah, good morning, Carlos. Amazon manipulated prices of everything to make businesses go out of business. It should have been an illegal practice. Okay, Carlos, that's a take. It's the same issue that Uber has done, often illegally. Many taxi drivers have committed suicide because of that. Okay, Carlos, at some point, they need to take responsibility for what they didn't do.
And see, that was an issue here with the city cabs, the yellow cabs, that the medallion, they bought a medallion for $1 million and up to have the right to drive. And now this is the sense of where you have to see where the puck is going, kind of like. And when Uber came, it just exploded everywhere. And people were like, well, I'm going to take an Uber because the taxi commission here, or the taxi drivers here, or whoever, didn't fix the problems that we had with getting a taxi in the city.
Well, check this out. Some folks just they wouldn't stop for them. Riding while black was a problem, I'm telling you. Okay.
Huge problem. When I lived in DC, it was a huge problem. In fact, they covered it on the news. I'm like, I'm just trying to get back to my Howard University apartment. I was grocery shopping and I needed that. I'm like, I'm not taking all of this on the train. I need a ride. But the thing is, now that you wanted to, mistreat people, now you want to.
Now you'll pick them up anywhere, right?
People that look like you. It was people that look like you that were doing it. So now that there is an alternative, before we didn't have an alternative, but now we have an alternative to these cabs. So now you want to say hello when I come in. Now you want to act nice. Too late, witch.
And
This
see,
is
the
the thing.
issue was if I went downtown and I wanted to get a yellow cab to bring me uptown, they were like, no. They would just not stop, or you would get in and tell them. They were like, oh, I'm not going there. And then we had to have a whole bunch of laws for that. But that's what happened to the taxi industry here and other places. You have to give the people what they want. You have to treat them like human beings. You have to say it's money. It's not, oh, well, I'm not going that neighborhood. I'm not doing what?
Right. And
Exactly. So I don't feel one damn bit sorry for the taxi industry because they created this themselves. Eventually, somebody was going to build a better mousetrap,
and they did.
Industry
Hold on, wait a minute. Let me put some boom in it. Look, we have always had Uber and Lyft. They were called jitneys. We couldn't get legitimacy. It took some other culture to come, put it on an app and say we good. Okay, but because we had no choice.
Okay, so, and it wasn't just a different culture. The different culture was they were younger and they wasn't putting up with crap, and they got their friends together and say, okay, let's
found a solution.
And they created an app and said, okay. Now, I'm in the real estate industry. And I needed to show my clients some properties. Okay, so I can't be in 2 and 3 places at one time. Mm-hmm. There is an app right now that I can book another agent to take my client to go see a house. The rules are in place where they can't, poach my client and some other stuff, but I pay them a fee for them to go. Now they
fill that gap.
And I was like, oh, this is genius. I can't be in Lincoln or I can't be in Bakersfield. But can you take my client, and you book it just like you book an Uber.
And see, businesses are slowly realizing, corporations, companies are slowly realizing, and this is the age of the consumer. What the consumer wants is driving everything, not what you said, like with the taxi drivers, we're not doing this and we're doing this and we're not going here. And we were like, hey, technology came and turned that all upside down. So
I was like, I am so grateful for somebody having, because I knew when I used to ride the cabs, it was 45 minutes maybe. And then if they decided to show up and I needed to get to the airport, I was like 45 minutes.
See, now that's the problem with Uber and Lyft. I mean, they're going to have to stop robbing these drivers because now I need to go 5 minutes away. And they were telling me it's going to take 30 minutes for me to get a ride.
Well, I think a lot of that has to do with
options.
I think a lot of that has to do with the availability of people's willingness to drive right now. But as they come back into the industry, that should improve dramatically.
And we're not saying that Uber and Lyft is perfect.
If they go paying the drivers 80% like they started out, when rideshare started out, it was a 75-25. First, it was an 80-20 split, 80% going to the driver. Right. Then it kept going down, 75-25, 60-40. And now the drivers just are not seeing the bulk of that rider payment.
Wow.
And it makes no sense whatsoever.
And I can tell you why. It's because some of them people, I'm talking about California, some of them people get in there and said, okay, we want to make all of y'all employees. Mm-hmm. And now the government got involved. And now we got to pay all of them, everything else.
Surcharge fee, this fee, that fee. Mm-hmm.
Because somebody, most of the people were like, if I used to drive for Uber. So I was like, this is genius. So I can start and stop when I want to. Now you want to tell me when I have to drive and I have to stop. I was like, no, my whole reason for doing this is so when I drive when I want to.
Right.
And they wanted to take that away.
Guys, did we open up a whole Pandora's box with the salons?
Not really, because this is where tech.
I'm so sorry. Oh my gosh. Mark says the cab drivers are so dismissive and rude in Chicago. Uber and Lyft made them think twice. And we got one more comment, and then we'll go back to Clubhouse. This is no, it wasn't intentional practice of manipulating prices. Manufacturers set prices. Amazon was the only company to offer items below prices, which retail would get fined for to keep them in line. but Amazon slipped through. As far as cabs, there were laws to protect cab drivers. Yeah, but there was also some exorbitant fees for those medallions. I mean, come on, people.
And they had some of the cab drivers doing shady things. Like I said, not wanting to take you certain places because of the neighborhood or your skin or whatever. So all of those little things, that's why I said this is the age of the consumer. The consumer gets to decide because there's so many choices. There's technology, there's this and that. Before, you only had one choice. Well, I gotta go somewhere, I gotta get the yellow cab. Or one of the uptown cabs up here, they just cars, But now it's like, well, I got a choice as a consumer. I can choose from this. I have A, B, C, D, E, but they can't get mad because that's the way it is now. So you have to adjust or find a new way or do something different.
Okay.
Right, so here's my 2 cents on the choice thing.
This is Carlos.
The choice, I'm sorry, this is Carlos. It's a rare thing, but I'm here.
We're glad to hear from you, Carlos.
Hey, Carlos.
All right. So as far as Amazon has played a horrible game. They manipulate prices. They take advantage of a lot of the people that are inside of Amazon selling their product, sometimes forcing even them inside of Amazon out of business, and then keeping their product still online. If you knew a lot of the behind the scenes that are happening as far as Amazon's concerned, understanding why they made so much money and how it forces businesses that are good businesses out of business, I don't know if we'd all be so happy and smiley, because once they become the monopoly, and they probably will be, then we're gonna, suffer the repercussions, because then we have no choice. The same thing with Uber and Lyft. Now, I did Uber as well. I thought Uber at first was great until I realized how much money I wasn't making by having to get my car fixed all the time, by having to spend a ton of money on gas, by having I had a trip where they sent me 2 states away for a guy. They're just things that, and then of course the penalization system. So there's a lot of behind this. Like as a consumer, yeah, we just get to buy stuff at super cheap prices and stuff like that. But I'm on the other side as well, where I'm now I'm a dealer for a lot of expensive products, and the dealer controls everything. I can't put things on sale when I want, or if I want to. It's completely controlled by the manufacturers. Amazon couldn't care less. If they want to have half price, they're going to undercut and destroy my business regardless. They don't care. And if they get penalized, like they're a multi-billion-dollar company, penalize me. I don't care.
Right, because Amazon's an exchange. Yeah.
That's the problem.
Yeah, and we're not saying it's everything's great with Amazon, but there's people out there that they just want the cheapest thing. That's why Walmart grew so big. They just want I don't care how it gets to me, I just want to pay the cheapest price. But now we're starting to see, like Carlos said, you're starting to see the behind the scenes of it, and the people that recognize that would go, whoa, wait a minute, let me get an alternative. But most of the people out there are like, well, it's cheap, I don't care. And they just buy it from Amazon.
Well, the catch with Walmart is that Walmart manipulates the manufacturing, so you're not getting what you pay for. You're getting an assumption of what you think you're getting. So, for example, on a computer system, if you bought a computer or laptop, stuff like that, as far as on Windows side, you can get a model 400N, while in Best Buy it might be the 400. It'll have the same specs. But if you read the label and you read the box, they're manufactured in totally different countries, even though you think it's the exact same computer. The materials are completely cheaper. They're not as good. And you're thinking you're getting a $100 less sale price when you're not. You're just getting a cheaper piece of crap. So you got to be careful when you look at, let's say, things that you buy at Walmart or any other type of discount stores. Amazon is different because they're being slick to the manufacturer to con them into selling into Amazon. And then once they're in, it's like a trap because they dominate SEO and search engine optimization for searchability when you want to search for a product online. That's a different type of manipulation. Walmart, if I have a product, I want to bring it to Walmart. They're like, okay, well, we love your product, but we're going to have you come through one of our manufacturers that we have a deal with, and we're going to reduce the quality and the product capabilities. And that's what you're going to get. And the consumer doesn't know any better because it's not like we get to see what's happening.
Okay, so now with all of that, that is why you go to, I'm going to say boutique, even though I don't mean necessarily boutique. You go to
I know
people.
what you mean, a specialty.
You go to specialty. You go to Dryer Buzz. You go directly to Carlos. You go directly to Mark or Terry or somebody. You don't have to go to the masses where the masses hang out. That's the difference. I don't shop with the masses. I shop for particular
Right.
I shop for quality for a reason. I don't normally, like, if I need pencils, I might go to Amazon to buy a bulk of pencils if I need that many pencils or paper or something. But if I'm looking for a particular item, I'm going directly to the manufacturer for it.
Oh, okay. Makes sense. Well, guys, I just want to get, I want to say two things. I want to say birthday blessings to Francine. You thought I'd forget. Oh, we know it's your birthday month. All right. And we know you're going to have to run at some point. So I wanted to say that before you got out of here.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, beautiful.
Thank you.
And the other thing is, I had another article, but I know it's going to start another storm, and we need to hear from TJ. I'll save it for next week.
Okay.
Okay. TJ, you're on.
Okay, so this week is social media news. We got a lot of stuff from Facebook, but I'm going to save that, and then also some Apple stuff. I know we didn't talk about it earlier, but we can get into it because Apple had their spring loaded event.
Carlos said, "Oh yeah."
Oh, okay. All right. So the little stuff. I don't want to say little, but let's start with Snapchat. Snapchat announced that their first quarter numbers. So they're saying that Snapchat is now being used by 280 million people every day. It's a 22% increase in year-over-year performance. And they're saying this is their biggest growth in 3 years. They're also seeing a lot of engagement with their AR tools, and they're saying the number of Snapchatters, those are the people that use Snapchat, engaging with the AR lens is growing more than 40% year over year. So they're saying that they're getting improvements from the AR, also from the improved Android app. They've improved the functionality of that, so it's more not more fun, but they enjoy using it more on the Android. And also the Spotlight feature. Remember, the Spotlight is their TikTok feature where you can make a short form video like TikTok and you get the chance to win $1 million a day. I'm not sure if they're still doing that. I have to check. But they're saying that they're having a good growth quarter and they're happy about it. So remember, Snapchat is the popular social media platform as far as the last numbers. They're neck and neck with TikTok, but in the teen area, 18 to 24 or 13 to 24, that is their popular demo. That group. Okay, so Snapchat is doing okay. All right, so now let's start talking about Clubhouse. Because everybody has a Clubhouse clone. So guess who's next to have the Clubhouse clone? Reddit. Reddit is working on a Clubhouse-like audio feature. Now, there might be a trick to this one because Reddit has something called power-ups where you have to pay a fee to use the power-ups if you have a Reddit account in your subreddit and all that. So their Clubhouse-like feature might be a part of the power up where you have to pay a fee. It's not determined yet because they're still working on it. So it's called Reddit Talk, and it lets you voice chat with other people on your subreddit in real time. So it's in test phase, and you have to sign up on a wait list, and they ask you a bunch of questions like, why do you want this, and what. So they ask you a bunch of questions before they give it to you. So if you're a Reddit fan, look for that feature to come. So it's in testing. They're testing it now. Okay, so there's your Clubhouse, but there's more Clubhouse to come, more Clubhouse talk. So Facebook, let's go to Facebook. Yeah, let's go there. I got a bunch of stuff on Facebook. Oh my goodness.
I believe it.
So many notes. All right, so Facebook, they had an announcement that they're going to offer new audio features, tools, and monetization options because they want to capitalize on this audio chat trend started by Clubhouse. So everybody's, Clubhouse frenzy. So now remember, we said, was it last week or the week before, that they had something called Hotline that they're working on.
Yes.
Out of the Facebook, their experimental arm. But now Facebook came out and said they're doing a whole bunch of audio things. And let me get it straight, because it was so many things that they want to do. So Facebook is announcing a series of features that will provide users and creators with a variety of new tools to make and share audio experiences. These are their words. So they're going to have automated captions, translations, AI-powered noise cancellation technology. They're also going to let you use music from the sound collection. They're going to have sound effects and voice filters. So now, what are they going to do? There's like a whole bunch of stuff. So one is audio creation tools, which I just talked about. They said it's going to be a sound studio in your pocket that gives you access to all of these audio tools. All right. So they are looking at audio technology, speech to text, and voice morphing. They're also going to make the audio quality great, even if you record on a busy street corner. These are their words. I also said that you're going to use the music from their sound collection to soundtrack your story. You're going to mix audio tracks and all kind of different things. Now, here's another thing that Facebook is throwing out: sound bites. They're going to have a new social audio feature called Sound Bites. And this is how they describe it: short form creative audio clips, but capturing anecdotes, jokes, moments of inspiration, poems, and many other things we haven't imagined. Okay, so this is their sound bite. All right. So I have a little screenshot. Let's look at that. Let me bring it up so you can see
we got a little bit of
the interface
for a moment.
Oh,
should be right back. Everything okay, Francine?
Yeah, Terry, you're going to need to unmute so I can mute.
Okay.
No, not
Oh,
Terry.
no. Oh, you mean?
I'm talking about Carolina.
Oh,
so Carolina, right. I need you to unmute, and I'm going to mute.
Okay.
Unmute in Clubhouse.
I'm unmuted in Clubhouse.
Nope, you're still.
You mean for her to unmute in Clubhouse?
Yes.
Okay.
She's not unmuted in Clubhouse.
No, she's mute on Facebook because that's what's picking up on districts.
Yeah. So, but I need her to unmute.
She's listening in Clubhouse, and that's what's causing that.
There you go.
Okay, there you go.
Continue.
Okay, so this is a screenshot, and I'm going to describe it. And let me get to. I got a bunch of tabs open. Okay, so this is their record a soundbite feature, and for Clubhouse, all it is it shows the words.
Turn it up too.
Yes.
We're having a conversation over here. I'm sorry, TJ.
Oh, okay. So the soundbite is showing the words as a caption. You've all seen the stories with the captions, right? So that's going to be there, and then they have a waveform, and then a button that's record, and then there'll be buttons that add audio effects at the bottom. And then I guess what they're going to show it in a story-like feature in the feed somewhere, where they look like little cards that you can flip through like a story. This is the soundbite. This is a Facebook soundbite. Mm-hmm. This is what they're saying it's going to look like. Okay, so this is just one of the audio things. Now let me get back to my notes. I had a bunch of these. So they're testing these on a small number of creators. They're going to experiment with this, right? Now let's look at podcasts. So they're going to do podcasts also. I don't need a screenshot for that. Let's remove this. Okay. So now Facebook is going to have podcasts on Facebook. They're bringing podcasts. So there's going to be
they're shamelessly saying what it is. It's just podcast.
Right. Okay. They say, hey, we're bringing podcasts. So you don't have all of this is to keep you. Remember, all of this is to keep you on Facebook and not go to Clubhouse and not go to Spotify and not go to Apple Podcast. All of that stuff. Remember, that's what this is for. So they're having a podcast feature. I don't know where they're going to stick it because in the mobile app, there's already buttons galore at the bottom. So I guess it'll be the hamburger menu, which is the 3 lines at the bottom right. I guess you'll get podcasts there, or if you're a podcaster, you will be able to promote it somehow. But remember also that Facebook is doing the live audio rooms in Facebook and Messenger. We talked about that. So this is going to be the Messenger rooms, and they're going to put it in groups, and they're calling it live audio rooms. Remember, this is the audio version of rooms called live audio rooms. I'm repeating it because there's so much audio stuff.
It's just hard to keep up with. Chachi had a comment. Doc, what did you want to say?
Oh, I would say good luck with that one. When we talk about podcasts, there are some legacy podcast platforms that have already.
I can't hear her comment. Can you turn it up a little?
Hold on, Chachi.
I didn't hear what she said.
Okay, start over, Chachi, and I'm going.
I didn't hear.
Okay, no problem. Can you hear me?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so when it comes to podcasts, there are some legacy podcasting platforms, for example, Apple Podcasts, which was formerly iTunes, that have been doing this for donkey's years. And so at this point, for them to enter, not that it can't work, but who do we know Facebook to be? Master of none. So I can see them not fully developing things, and it's not going to work for them, and they'll just let it quietly go and slink away like they do a lot of these other applications that they introduce. And this is the thing with podcasts, it's also about where things rank, how they rank, and there are so many other podcast listening platforms. Forget about Facebook, some of these other smaller ones like Pocket Casts, etc. That why would I listen to a podcast there? For podcasters, yeah, maybe it is worth it to have your RSS feed go there. Fine, but for that to be the main place, I don't see it.
Agreed. That Facebook is throwing all of this stuff out because, well, one, they're the Death Star. They're the biggest thing, floating around. Everybody wants to be on, they're sticking with Facebook. The younger kids are going. They jump ship. But Facebook is like, well, we've got the money and we'll just throw stuff around and see what sticks. Because remember, they were, we're all videoed and they had Facebook Watch. What happened to Facebook Watch? They kind of let that go. Put that toy down, and now they picked up the audio toy, which they had audio tools before, but now they're like, okay.
Dryer Buzz has a comment.
Okay, go ahead.
Well, keep in mind, Facebook just had like a whole 2-year campaign of telling creators that audiences didn't want sound. They had us making silent videos, right? Telling you that people were listening, go add captions because people don't want to hear you no way. Everybody's watching and listening on mute, right? You still can't scroll the video without having to, filter around trying to find a volume button. So Facebook has had us quiet for all this time. And then lo and behold, here comes audio.
Well, I think too, people didn't know how to turn off the videos. When they'd come into Facebook, it would be live, and they would be embarrassed because they were watching things in the middle of meetings. And so I think that's one of the reasons why they tried to convince us to come in silently. They should have just told us, look, here's the way you do this so that you're not freaking everybody out in the meeting when your volume goes off.
Okay, so here is.
Wait a minute.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Yolanda.
I was just saying, or stop watching certain videos.
Yeah, that too. Or watching them in inappropriate settings, right? Okay, TJ, go ahead.
Good. All right, so I got a screen caption of what this room concept is going to look like. Remember, live audio rooms is going to be tested in groups first, and then public figures will get it, and then I guess they'll give it to everybody. Live audio rooms on Messenger, they're saying that's going to be released this summer. And this is confusing because they've got audio tools everywhere. They've got Hotline, they've got this, they got that. It's the podcast. It's a lot. They're just throwing things out. and seeing what works.
Spaghetti on the wall. I can't even see the wall anymore. What the heck? Come on, people.
Right. So I'm thinking, where are they going to put this rooms? Because the tabs on mobile is already used up at the bottom, but they're making a section, and it's called, for Clubhouse. The title is rooms, and then it will show a live now, like the watch. If you've seen the watch tab, it looks like that, but it's all little squares of I guess you can put up a profile, a picture of your profile, or you can make a thumbnail or whatever, and then you just tap it, and I guess you just you go into the room, and then it has the circles like Clubhouse, and it has the title, and then it has the speakers are the big circles, and then they've got a front row, and then they've got the the listener section, and all of those are smaller circles. So again, I think I said before that everybody got excited when Mark Zuckerberg went to Clubhouse, and I was like, no, he's there to scope it out. So he scoped it out, and
we got a comment over here.
Wait. One thing before I say that, the last thing is the monetization. The last thing on this audio is the monetization options. So they're going to make all of this is for you to make money and to charge for access to a live audio room with one purchase or subscription. Okay, now go.
Okay, Fran.
Okay, so what happened to Hotline?
It's still there. That's a part of the NPE.
Did you hear that?
That's the Hotline is a separate app, but that's part of Facebook experimentation group. This is going to be inside of Facebook Clubhouse. I'm saying Facebook Clubhouse.
I don't even know where I am anymore when I go in.
Face Club, whatever they're calling it.
In the group room.
Right, that's what I said.
Am I a messenger? Am I a messenger room?
Right. See, they're just throwing it things. So this is stuff that's going to be in Face House, the app we have now. But
Face
the Hotline.
Did you call it Face House?
Whatever, Facebook. It's confusing.
That's right. So
these things will be inside of Facebook.
Face House has too many flipping rooms. Okay.
So these features are inside of Facebook app. Okay. And the Hotline, that's a separate app that the experimentation team is working on.
Hold on, who's talking? Is this Carlos? Carlos, what you saying?
So if it's Facebook, shouldn't be called Face Library for all the different books that they have?
What's that? I didn't hear what it say.
It should be called Face Library for all the different books it's got.
It's just Zuckerberg was talking with I forgot who because Tachi was talking about this on her media scope, and I said I had listened to some of the interview, and Zuckerberg can do this because one, they've got the money for this, they've got the cash for this. Why not? They're trying to siphon off attention from Clubhouse, and they know they've already got people inside of Facebook who like to stay in Facebook world. So you give them the toys inside of the crib instead of them jumping out. A kid wants a toy over across the room to get out of the crib and whatever. So Facebook is keeping you in the crib with the audio tools that they're throwing at us. Plus, they're making a separate app. It's confusing. It is. I'm telling you that. It's confusing.
Francine has a comment about confusion. Go ahead, Fran.
And a confused mind will not make a decision. Everybody just don't go like, okay, whatever, I'm not doing any of it. Because that's where we are now.
Exactly.
Right. And
I'm done.
She's done, she says.
Okay. And Mark has a big comment. Let's bring up Mark's comment in Facebook.
Okay.
Mark,
let me post this. Mark,
he's got two of them.
Oh, let me start with the first one.
Yeah, the little one. Yeah.
Mark says, go ahead.
Mark says it's a dream come true. More tools for me to use that will be ignored by more people on more platforms. Absolutely right. And then he says the possible benefit for podcasters is that Facebook might expose those who are not otherwise technically savvy to podcasts. Since Facebook has older users, it could actually increase the audience if the podcasts are also allowed to be in the usual places as well. True. He has a point. This will bring older people, older listeners who don't go to Spotify or Apple Podcasts and listen to podcasts. If it's in Facebook, they'll listen to it.
Mm-hmm. And they're familiar with radio. Go ahead.
Well, which is to the point before that it's one thing. It is another place for audiences. So it's not going to cost you anything, probably, presumably, to have your podcast also on Facebook. But in terms of numbers, in terms of where people generally listen to podcasts, it's going to be a very long time before there's even a notch on the needle moved for people, a significant number of people listening on podcast. And again, I guess it depends on what your goal is as a podcaster. If it's numbers, Facebook is probably not the way to go. But if it's another platform to get your message heard and by presumably an older audience, yes. I will add this one other thing though. In the words of the United Negro College Fund, a mind is a terrible thing to waste.
Excuse me. Yes.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I agree with all of this. So now, since we're on the topic of audio and podcasts, and Facebook is doing all of this stuff, they're also doing something with the news feed, asking you questions about your news feed, but I'm not going to bring that up. We'll move on. The Apple event. Remember, Apple had their event Tuesday, the spring loader. They announced a whole bunch of things, but one thing that stood out is the Apple podcast subscriptions. So let me bring
Tell me more.
Let's see. Let me bring this up.
Not worth it.
No.
Carlos says not worth it.
Not I, said the cat.
All right, let me. Okay, here we go.
I love it.
You have to pay to make money.
Yes, you have to pay to play.
Yes, I'm trying to bring up the right. That's not the one I want to bring up.
Okay. Oh my goodness!
They gotta do a better thing with labeling these. Okay, here we go. I got it.
All right.
Is that it?
I think it is. Apple leads the next.
Yeah, I thought I had two. Oh, there we go. That's the one I want.
Okay.
I see it. Sorry, guys. My StreamYard is like making this where I can't see which one is which. This one? Yeah. All right, that's it. I wanted to bring up the one from Apple, podcasters.apple.com. They're introducing Apple Podcast subscriptions. Starting this May, you can offer premium subscription to listeners, giving you a new way to grow your business. So this, they're doing this podcast subscription. And let me go back to my notes. Sorry, guys. I had a whole bunch of stuff written about this. So they're doing this. They're going to allow publishers to sell subscriptions to an individual show or a group of shows with pricing started at 49 cents per month. The service will allow creators to monetize and grow the business of their shows. For users, this is going to open up things like ad-free episodes, early access to new series, and premium content. Now, here's a statement from Apple. Apple says they're having Apple Podcast subscriptions, a global marketplace for listeners to discover premium subscriptions offered by their favorite creators alongside millions of free shows on Apple Podcasts. So this is going to start in May. Listeners in more than 170 countries and regions can sign up for premium subscriptions that allows a various benefits. They're also going to create something called Discover Channels, which are groups of shows curated by creators with unique titles, descriptions, and artwork. Listeners will be able to browse free channels, and it will make it easier to find more shows from their favorite creators, as well as paid channels and channels that provide additional benefit for subscribers. So this is what Apple is doing. They're adding an extra level on. And also you'll have analytics, and they'll tell you, learn more about your listeners. There'll be marketing tools. Of course, you'll be able to monetize your show. So what do we think about this?
I'm just overwhelmed with this whole prescription Prescription. Did you hear that?
Prescription. Yeah, subscription is big. One of the news services, I forgot which one, just announced that their stuff was free and now it's subscription based.
You know what I'm saying? They have the free, and then they have if you really want to know the rest of the story,
right?
It's just it feels like bait and switch a lot of times.
Well, it is bait and switch because I had this. Oh, go ahead.
Hold on, Carlos. Go ahead.
I apologize.
That's okay.
This is a response to Spotify.
Can you hear him?
Who's probably
Okay. Go ahead.
Their biggest competitor. Spotify started doing this. iHeartRadio has this. Stitcher has this. So it's the trend as far as podcasts, especially now that a lot of people are starting. Well, not a lot. It's a very small percentage of podcasters are monetized.
Mm-hmm.
But those popular ones that have ads, this is kind of aiming at them to create premier content.
Wow. Okay. Go ahead, CJ.
So we'll move on to if there's no more other comments about the Apple podcast. Twitter is rolling out professional profiles.
Hold on, we got one more.
Oh, go ahead.
I want to know what you think, Terry, about whether or not there is efficacy in people paying for podcasts.
People will pay for podcasts? I don't think so. I mean, you have to be. I'm trying to think like the read. Maybe they'll pay for something like the read. That's like the most popular ones. Maybe I'm thinking of like a Patreon style thing where it's extra content or more content. Like Terlene was saying, like TechCrunch and all these other guys. They have extra. TechCrunch has an extra crunch where you pay for it, but I'm not paying for it. But some people may. I don't think a lot though. That's what I think.
Okay.
But Apple is putting something out, trying to spruce up their little podcast app, and we're like, So Apple wants to be Patreon. It's basically what it is. So there's so many ways to slice this apple, so to speak, because you can do your podcast the regular way you do it, and you can monetize it with Patreon. You don't have to do this Apple subscription thing, but I think people will go to it and try it because it's Apple. But I don't see, if you get used to free, it's very hard to get them to the paid model. Some people will, but the majority won't, because it's like, well, I'm not paying for that.
Mm-hmm.
So, and here we go, Facebook with their, they're putting their podcast. Hey, put a podcast on Facebook. So I don't know. It's iffy. I'm.
There's a lot of moving parts going on here with podcasts now.
Yeah.
Carlos, were you going to say something?
No. As far as subscriptions, that is an overwhelming thing now because if anybody wants the content, but it is not blocking those same podcasts from being in other places. Usually, what happens is that they have the release of podcast for the first week. You won't have any ads and stuff like that before it gets released on the platforms. There's a lot of different models for that.
Thank you.
Okay. Oh, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to.
You're better. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I was fiddling with my phone because I had it over there because I can hear it. So when you're talking, you hear yourself talking. It's like kind of off.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So back to Twitter.
How you doing? We got Dr. Vibe in the audience.
Hey, Dr. Vibe.
Mm-hmm.
And also Alexis has joined the stage.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm sorry. I had a question.
Yeah.
All the stuff that Facebook is doing, wouldn't it be still subject to their algorithm, which we all know is horrible?
What was that last part? Because it's not clear.
She said, with all the things that Facebook is doing, wouldn't it be subject to their algorithm?
Yes, of course.
Their algorithm is horrible.
Of course. I agree. But see, I've said this before. I'll repeat it. Facebook's thing is to get you to pay. They're not going to give you anything free. It looks free. You can get a free business page. But when you post to it, your business page, it doesn't get any traction because Facebook isn't pushing it out. Because you're a business, you should run ads. Facebook wants you to run ads. So you better believe this podcast thing that they're doing on Facebook, they're going to push it for a little bit. And after that, you're going to say, well, how come my listeners are going down? And Facebook is going to suggest you should boost this podcast episode with an ad. Because that's what they do. That's what they're doing. Because right now, and I'll jump over to Twitter and we'll go to Instagram. Instagram is putting ads in reels now. So that's what they're doing. So they're going to put ads in reels. And we talked about this, I think, last year that they were going to do. I said they're going to put ads because it's about placement. Everything that Facebook adds to the app, and this is Instagram also, is an ad placement to them. They start out free. You can make a reel, but now it's like, okay, we're going to put an ad in it. Who wants to do that?
I'm putting my earrings back on.
Okay, go ahead. But they're going to test ads in the Instagram reels. And they're testing not in the United States. They're starting in India, Brazil, Germany, and Australia first. And then it's going to come here where they're going to put ads in the reels.
You know what I think? You know, I have to say this. In some ways, Facebook is genius because they get us to create content. In some ways, they're genius. They get us to create. Yes, genius. They get us to create the content. Yeah. And then they ride it with their ads.
Yeah. We're the guinea pigs. There's no Facebook without people posting and saying things. There's no Facebook. There's no money. There's no money if you're not generating content. So Facebook says, how can I get you, the user, to make more content? Well, there's the news feed, there's stories, there's podcasts, there's groups, there's pages, there's this, that, and they gently, sometimes not gently, send you a notification saying, oh, and I know this is not true because I have a page for a client and it's no longer, it's dormant. It hasn't been a post in 3 years, but Facebook will send me a notification saying, oh, so-and-so, this many people saw your post. I'm like, stop lying. They want me to go over there and post something or run an ad or something. And they'll always send me a notification saying something activity on this page. And I'm like, you're lying because it's dead. Stop lying to me because they want me to go over there and post. Oh, this many people saw your post last week. If you make a new post today, you will engage. It's something like that. And then you'll get the notifications. This post did so much better than this post. Why don't you boost it? Because they want you to run an ad. Boosting is an ad, which means money in Facebook's pocket. So better believe that this podcast, this audio stuff, they're going when you make that content, they're going to gently suggest that you run an ad. They're not just going to let you post it and not bother you about running an ad.
I'm not really mad at that. We're all in business to make money.
I'm not mad either. But that's the idea. Just think that. That's why there's people upset about the algorithm for Instagram. It doesn't do this. It doesn't do that. Well, they're not going to give you stuff for free. I remember when Facebook pages, business pages first came out, engagement and exposure was through the roof. And all of a sudden, it was a slow and steady decline to 0.1% now. Because they gave it they was like, hey, we need you to use this. We need you to make content. It's for them, for inventory, for them to say, hey, ad placement here. This many people saw this many things in this many spots and stuff. That's why they're mad with Apple and the new iOS update, because a lot of that stuff they won't be able to give to people that run ads. They won't be able to give those numbers or, that information to people that run ads.
Okay.
So,
wow.
That's kind of it. Was there any other question about that?
Yeah, we had a comment over here. Go ahead.
Okay.
I just want to add. So you have to understand. So Facebook has this massive platform. They spend millions of dollars for whatever else additional things that they want to add. They're also a public company now, so they have to constantly come up with ways of generating income. So right now, I think the value of each individual is about $12 to $24 in terms of the information they gather from us and then sell to whoever they sell it to. Ads is just another way of which is the same model that YouTube has. YouTube puts ads, whether we're generating money off of those ads or not. They're putting ads regardless, right? Mm-hmm. So a lot of people are not making money off of YouTube, but YouTube is helping making money off of the content.
The content, yes.
Now, the reason is because it costs a lot of money just to host video. You know, like I'll do a 4-hour show. Because I'm in this field, I kind of know how much money is costing them just for them to keep it there. And so they're going to sell us. We are the money, right? Mm-hmm. So that's their business plan. And any company, it's one of two options. How are you going to make money? It's either ad placement, which all of us who are doing content are like thinking, okay, well, how do I get sponsors for my show? How do I get sponsors for my podcast? So we're all thinking the exact same thing that Facebook is doing. Or the consumer has to pay a fee and subscription models. So there's really not a lot of in between. There's not a lot of other ways of generating money outside of selling merchandise and selling products and stuff like that, which is what I do. So I'll do videos and then I'm showing off product and then hopefully they'll go to my website and purchase. Right?
Yes.
So there's not a lot of options of how to generate money in this realm called the internet, especially in social media. And I'm just dropping that.
Okay.
Right. Thank you, Carlos. Okay, so where are we going from there?
Okay. One or two more things, and then we're done. Hold on. I'm trying to listen on my phone, and then now I got to turn the sound down. So hold on. Also, Facebook is going to be testing sticker ads for Facebook stories. What it is that brand can create stickers that creators place in their stories. Influencers will earn a cut of any sales made through the sticker ads. So they're just going to be, and the example they had, I don't have the graphic, but the example was someone who sells plants, and then they had a photograph of a lady with plants plastered everywhere in the background, and then the sticker was for one of the plants, and you could tap the sticker and then it would go to the story and then you could buy it,
purchase it. Okay.
Yeah, right. So that was one of the examples. One more thing about Instagram.
Stick and pick. Okay.
Right. Instagram is going to let you filter out abusive messages so you never have to see them. We talked about this before. They're going to add another layer of harassment for your DMs. What's good about this is going to have a filter where certain messages can't come through. Also, they're going to keep it to where what's happening is some people that are getting harassment through the DMs, they can block that account, and then the person goes and makes another account and comes back to harass them. So Instagram has a way to stop that from happening. So, and you'll also be able to turn both comment and DM request filters on and off. It'll be in a new dedicated section of your privacy settings called hidden words. And it's like if you have a YouTube channel, there's a section in your YouTube channel where you can put words in that you don't want to come through in comments or when you're doing a live. It's kind of similar to that.
Oh, okay. All right. And this will be on Instagram.
Yeah, this is Instagram. This is for your so you don't get strangers DM messages that come in that are harassment, abuse, hate speech, stuff like that. So that's one of the things. They're trying to stop people, from getting through with trolling, bullying, harassment in the messages. Okay. And this will probably come to Messenger also.
Okay. Wow.
Okay. And that's it for social media update this week.
Okay. I don't know if Dr. Tachi is still in the house. She's been here a while. If she's going to come into the studio and talk to us about media. So let us know. We'll be waiting for you over here, Dr. Tachi. In the meantime, I just want to say there's just so much going on. Oh my gosh.
Yes.
There's so much going on. I had a story about let me look at this, about the breakthrough sets the stage for biotech to generate 1 billion vaccine doses in less than a month. Okay, they've um, they've said that the new IVAC biomanufacturing platform, healthcare professionals can simply, are you ready for this? Add water to a test tube and with freeze-dried vaccine components. The water sets off a chemical reaction that activates the cell-free system, turning it into a catalyst for making usable medicine when and where it's needed. So my question is, do you trust that? Do you trust this new process for making vaccines? I mean, I believe. Wait a minute. Let me go back and see what university this is. I think it's Northwestern, but I don't want to misquote the article. Northwestern University, by cracking open a cellular membrane, Northwestern University synthetic biologists had discovered a new way to increase production yields of protein-based vaccines by fivefold, significantly broadening access to potentially life-saving medicines and bringing the cost down to $1 per dose, so that we can get this pandemic under control in countries where they've been priced out of the market.
Wow.
So with that, I just want to say, this is your week in tech. Oh my goodness. Let that marinate, guys. If anybody has a comment over here, let me know about trusting this new process for creating vaccines developed by Northwestern University. So basically what they can do as it morphs, as it, into other things, they actually can crack that membrane, open it up, take what's inside, freeze dry it, process it, put it back in a test tube, and just add water and stir.
Wow.
Which means we're going to live a lot longer. I'm mad. I'm mad at the Northwestern, and I thank God for the people, for your alumni who keep you going.
Wow.
And for all those student loans. Okay? Because somebody's actually doing some really good work. Also, there was some stuff going on at Ohio State where they have been able to make progress with how things, look, it's some, what do you call that thing? Star Wars stuff.
Oh, the Star Wars stuff?
Well, they are making inanimate stuff be able to actually think.
Right.
Like logically. We've been able to do the IA with the 4 components. There are 8. They found a way to activate the other 4 so that all 8 are operating, and now it is making logical. Stop. Okay, guys, we're out.
Wow. That's all I can say is wow.
Carlos says he can't wait till what, Carlos?
We start talking to our plants and it can respond.
Oh, and it can respond, yeah, because my grandmother always talked to her plants, told them to grow and how pretty they, and she can grow anything. So yeah, when they start responding, we're in serious trouble, and it won't be long, according to this article. So with that, I want to say, guys, remember to go to the front of your own live. We'll be here Monday for coffee, tea, thoughts, and conversations with the Biz Chicks. And we hope you've enjoyed this week in tech with Tech Life Weekly. Thank you so much for tuning in. I want to give a big shout out to Dr. Tachi for taking care of the clubhouse for us today. Hopefully we will hear from her next week. And with that, TJ, thank you. We want to give a shout out to Francine on her birthday. Hey, we know.
Hey, happy birthday.
I know you're working on your birthday. We just say, hey, we look forward to helping you celebrate the rest of the month. And with that, remember to go to the front of your own line, and we'll see you Monday.
Bye, everybody.
Same station. Bye-bye.